taxpayers have a right to know how their money is being spent, even if it's inconvenient or embarrassing for some bureaucrats, politicians, congressional staffers, contractors, and foreign governments. We've spent millions of dollars buying rare white Italian goats, or building a gas station that no one needed, or building a $40 million headquarters that nobody wanted, or building a school that melted. Many people, whether they're ambassadors, generals, bureaucrats, contractors, or even congressional staff, have an invested interest in many of the programs that we are pointing out. They obviously are very defensive about what we find and publish. At best, they wish that we do our work quietly and that we keep it out of the public view. But I believe in transparency. I reject that view. I think transparency and publicity are two virtues we ignore to the peril of all of us in Washington and elsewhere. The U.S. government pours out thousands of reports a year. How many do you hear about? View corruption, view incompetency, view waste, fraud, and abuse almost like having a drug problem. The first step, there may be 7 steps for alcohol and drugs, but the first step for all of that is recognizing you have a problem. If you hide the reports under classification, bogus classification, or you don't want it publicized, you're not admitting you got a problem. Egos in Washington bruise easily. One top USAID official testified when asked by a senator about a report, said he didn't find it helpful to be reminded that there was a corruption problem in Afghanistan, unquote. Input, how much money was spent? How much money went into the program? What was the output? What did you tell Congress and what did you tell OMB before you got the money? We were going to buy boots. We were going to train soldiers. How many soldiers? What were you going to train them on? Okay, that's an output. But here's the big question. Outcome. You did tell Congress and OMB why you were doing this. That's the outcome. We were doing this to make certain the Afghan military could defend the citizens. We did this so this airplane could fly. That's a beautiful one. Look at the G222. That's 400 million, G222. G222, $400 million, taxpayer dollars. We bought an airplane out of the Italian Air Force boneyard, rebuilt it to give to the Afghans so they had lift capability. Short runway lift capability. It turned out it's the wrong airplane for the altitude. Second thing is, the planes were all crap and they weren't rebuilt properly. We actually talked to a couple pilots who referred to them as death planes. And one of them who flew into Kabul airport when he flew it in, and parts fell off. Why did we do it? Because the plane couldn't fly. And later, all 20 of them got scrapped and turned into little pieces of metal for 6 cents on the dollar. Inputs, outputs, outcome. There was no outcome there. People don't understand it. We don't make these up. Let me just tell you. We asked the agencies, what was the input? What was the output? What was the outcome? Be honest with us. And most agencies don't. The contracting officer gets rewarded for putting money on contract. I've had many contracting officers come up to me and say, look at, John, I agree with you. But I get my performance review on how many millions of dollars I put on contract. I'm not rewarded on whether the contract, they don't even care if it works or not. But I get my reward and then I'm gone. Just keep this in mind. What we are seeing in Afghanistan is what's wrong with the way the U.S. government works.